We live in a world governed by invisible forces. Not magic, not luck, but laws, unchangeable, undeniable laws. And among these laws is one that has shaped the destiny of every great man or woman who ever lived. We become what we think about. This is the strangest secret because it is the most powerful, and yet the most overlooked. A man plants a seed in the soil. He waters it, nurtures it, gives it sunlight. Whether that seed is poison or nourishment, the soil doesn't care. The land simply returns what is planted. Multiply it, magnify it, give it back, pressed down and running over. Your mind works exactly the same way. Plant fear, doubt, jealousy, resentment. Your life will produce weeds, anxiety, stagnation, mediocrity. But plant courage, belief, purpose, and persistence, and your life will grow into greatness. And here's what Earl Nightingale dared to say when the world was still blind to it. We become what we think about, all day long. Not what we dream of, not what we hope for, not what we write in a journal once a year, but what we obsessively entertain in our minds. Do you understand how terrifying and powerful that is? That every thought you allow to linger becomes a builder in the architecture of your reality. You are the architect, the draftsman, the creator, and thought is your tool. Most people drift through life unaware. They're holding a chisel and hammer in their hands, shaping their future with every silent belief. They let fear be their foreman. They let doubt lead the design. And then they wonder why their lives resemble ruins instead of cathedrals. But not you, because once you know the secret, once you understand that thought is the seed of destiny, everything changes. You stop blaming the world. You stop waiting for signs. You stop hoping someone will rescue you from mediocrity. You realize the enemy isn't outside you, it's the thought you tolerate within you. Think small, live small. Think average, die average. But think boldly, think clearly. Think with intention. And life bends to that vision like iron to a magnet. And don't be fooled, this isn't blind optimism. This is physics of the soul. Just as gravity pulls mass toward mass, your mind pulls outcomes toward dominant thought. Edison thought about light until light appeared. Ford thought about cars until horses became history. Carnegie thought about empires until steel cities stood in his name. They didn't hope. They didn't dabble. They believed with obsession. That is the strangest secret, simple yet demanding. You will not rise above the quality of your thinking. You will never out-earn your self-image. You will never outperform the story you whisper to yourself every morning. So change it. Right now. Because the clock is ticking. Not out there, in here. Every second you hesitate, life is etching another line in the script of who you are becoming. And here's the raw truth, you are always becoming something. The only question is what? Most people become echoes, reflections, background noise in someone else's dream. They absorb the thoughts handed to them by teachers, parents, media, failure, fear, and they believe it. They accept a second-hand identity. They wear limitation like a name tag and call it reality. But you are not most people. You wouldn't be here if you were. You feel it in your bones. You were meant for more. For greatness. For impact. For legacy. But no one will give it to you. No one is coming to save you. Not success, not money, not motivation. The only rescue mission begins in the mirror. The only way out is inward, into belief, into purpose, into work so deep and disciplined it scares the excuses out of your life. That's what Earl Nightingale meant when he said, "We become what we think about." It's not poetry. It's prophecy. Think struggle and you magnetize struggle. Think fear, and life finds ways to reinforce it. But think with vision, with clarity, with boldness, with a heart set on becoming something extraordinary, and the world starts shifting. Slow at first, quietly, but inevitably. Because the world mirrors back what you broadcast. Let this awaken you. The only limits are the ones you repeat to yourself. The only ceiling is the one you accept. The only chains are the ones you cling to because they're familiar. Drop them. This moment right now is a crossroads. One path leads back to comfort. Back to doubt. Back to quiet desperation. Scrolling through other people's lives while your own slips by. The other path? That's the path of belief, of discipline, of building something so powerful within yourself that the world has no choice but to respond. And you don't need permission. You don't need approval. You just need a decision. And when you decide, really decide, not with words but with fire, everything changes. Because decision is destiny. The moment you burn the bridges behind you and say, "This is who I am now. This is what I'm building. This is what I stand for," you activate a force inside you that no obstacle can stand against. History is filled with men and women who didn't wait for the world to believe in them. They believed first. When Henry Ford was told it was impossible to mass-produce cars affordably, he didn't listen. He believed. When Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times to create the light bulb, he didn't quit. He believed. When Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination, he didn't collapse. He believed. They didn't have certainty. They had belief, and belief built certainty. That's the strangest secret, that your world will rise or fall to meet the level of your inner expectation. And most people expect nothing. They expect struggle, so they get it. They expect smallness, so they live it. They expect failure, so they sabotage every flicker of momentum. But when you begin to expect greatness, not in arrogance, but in truth, in discipline, in vision, the universe starts to listen. Not because of some magic, but because you become unignorable. You speak differently. You walk differently. You work with a fire that cannot be faked. A man or woman with belief is a force of nature. They stop chasing success and instead attract it. Because their energy demands it. Their mindset commands it. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So ask yourself, who are you right now? Not in title. Not in job. Not in status. But in belief. Are you average in mind while dreaming of greatness? Are you begging for change while fearing discomfort? Are you whispering affirmations while screaming doubts in your head? Because the mind will always listen to the voice you use the most. Make it count. Then let this be the moment your life splits in two. Before belief and after. This is not about hype. Not about wishing. Not about chanting empty mantras in the mirror. This is about alignment. The day your thoughts, your vision, your actions, your energy, your discipline, your habits, your standards all point in the same direction. That's when belief becomes inevitable success. Because you're no longer fractured inside, no longer battling yourself, no longer second-guessing every decision, shrinking under every failure, or waiting for outside permission. You're locked in, unstoppable, and the world begins to adjust around you. Your environment changes, not because the world suddenly became easier, but because you became clearer, more powerful, more precise. You stopped watering down your ambition to make others comfortable. You stopped apologizing for wanting more. You stopped calling your dream crazy just to fit in. Because now you know the strangest secret is not strange at all. It's simple. Brutally simple. We become what we think about. And if you dare to hold the thought long enough, to fuel it with action, to defend it with discipline, to grow it through learning, to protect it with persistence, there's nothing in this world that can stop you from becoming exactly what you decide to become. So rise. Rise like the sun that doesn't ask permission to shine, like the tide that doesn't apologize for its strength, like the wind that doesn't care who believes in it or not. Because you are not here to live a quiet life of doubt. You are here to rise with vision, to walk with purpose, to work with belief, and to become the person you were always meant to be. This is the essence of Earl Nightingale's message, and it will echo through your results for the rest of your life. Now go, think boldly, believe fully, act relentlessly, and become the proof that the strangest secret is real.